Hello guys, welcome to our week 3 practice exercise. So today we are going to work on the third practice exercise that has been provided in our cloud module 5. So Deepak has done a brilliant work in terms of working on this exercise, and he's come up with a solution on how do we execute these in Lambda. I would expect everybody to go through the exercise and the detail and the brief that is provided in the document, so you get an idea before we start this session that what exactly is the problem statement and what is expected to solve that problem statement. So I'll quickly take you through in terms of what we have done and then to set the right context. So to understand the flow, so we have created an event bridge rule, right? Then passing down to Lambda function. The function makes a call to the Open Weather API, and from the Weather API it pulls the live data and sends them to SNS, right, as an alert, which will come to you as a notification or email or whatever you want to set up as. So that's basically the problem statement. So how do we start what in the flow? So we create an account on the Weather API, right, and you'll have to generate an API key. After you create an account, it requires you like around 3 to 4 hours for that account to be activated. Once you're done with that, you need to create and subscribe to the SNS topics and verify your email ID, which you've already gone through in our previous exercises. Then you will need to install the Python package. So there are certain inbuilt packages that are available in Python. We would have worked on request libraries for making HTTP calls. However, in this case on Lambda, we have a different way of doing it. Probably more detail on that, you may reach out to me or Deepak or Abhinav over here is also there along with us. And if you seek any help on why we need to install these libraries. But however, for this exercise, I will keep it limited. You need to install these libraries. We'll show you in the project with live commands. Then you need to create a layer for the package. You need to paste your Lambda Python code into the Lambda function that we are going to create. Then you have to attach the layer to the function. Then we'll test the flow by executing from the AWS Lambda itself, and then we'll see how the output is. So ideally, the output should go to your email. So let's start, guys, and I'll go on mute, and you just watch the video. Fine guys, so we are through with the exercise and you can see the mails coming in. However, we have made some tweaks over here. If you see, you can see the subject line is appearing in capital. When we actually did the exercise, you could see the mails were like this with this subject. I can show you quickly how basically and what we have done. So in the Lambda function, we just go to configuration, we go under environment variables, click on edit, and we can just create two variables over here. Let's say city, and I can create Mumbai, India, right? Well, don't worry about the case. We can change that later on during the runtime in the code. And here I'll set up the API key, and we'll pick up the API key from the created. I hope to copy this. Okay, all right. So this is the API key from the account that you created initially in the beginning of the video, right? You will have your default API keys. So the environment variables are set. Now I'll go back to the code again, and in the code over here, we'll come back. We'll import the OS, right? So we have imported the OS library. I can basically show you live in action. So we'll import the OS library over here, and we'll try to edit the code. So we had created two environment variables, city. We'll add the city over here. City, and the another variable is API key. I'm using an underscore just to differentiate between the actual environment variable and the variable defined over here. But you can give any name as you wish, up to you. And this is what we define. So these are the two environment variables keys that we had set up under the configuration environment variable option. And what we'll do is we'll just change the names over here. Instead of using this values, static values, we'll set it up as city. And instead of using the static API key, we'll just set it up as API underscore key. Right? And the uppercase part that we showed you, so we can just set it over here. And we'll remove this portion. We'll use a format string of Python, and we'll just define here city dot upper. There you go. This should work. Deploy. Changes are deployed. We have a test already, and we'll test. Run the test. All right. So you can see the values. The code is running fine. We'll go to the email. We'll go here again, and let's wait. We should have another set of email coming. Yeah, there you go. You can see the emails flowing in. I'll just delete it for everyone's benefit. And let's see, we should have another email coming in. We'll wait for a minute. If you remember in the video I had shown you, we had set up a time for 1 minute in the event bridge. The event will occur every 1 minute time. While the email appears, if you know, we spoke about two libraries. One is the Python TZ library, which is a time zone library, and the another library that was request library, right? So I'll just to brief up, right? And on the Lambda, right, we cannot have a direct default library. The request HTTP request that we normally use in any normal Python code is not compatible on the Lambda function, right? So for that, we have to use two things. So one is the TZ library, right? Now TZ, this is a time zone database, which is a global database that has been created. And thanks to the person named Arthur Olson who has created this library. So you can install PyTZ. You would have seen in the video how we installed it. So that's the time zone database library that you need to install for running any of your Lambda function. And another part that we were talking about is the request, right? So this is not by default available in the AWS Lambda Python if you are to run your code. So you have to create and install it, right? And how did we install it? For using that, you have a specific request library for the Lambda function. And then you need to create a Lambda layer, which we showed you in the video. And we have to attach that layer to the Lambda function, right? If you remember, right, I'll just show you again over here. We went to the Lambda layers over here. You can see we created the layers first and we attached the layers over here. We just clicked on add a layer. We had created this layer and we attached the layer over here. So that's basically what these two libraries will be required for this exercise. For everyone's benefit, we'll attach the link and the code along as well, and the GitHub code link as well on the YouTube video. and you can go and check it out for yourself. So that's it, guys. If there's any queries, the primary person is definitely Deepak. Then you have myself. Then you can reach out to Srimati, Sudarshan, Abhinav, everybody who has contributed in making this video. So thanks to everyone for this exercise. And that's all. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.